What we're witnessing today in Washington is nothing short of a seismic shakeup at the highest levels of national security. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz has been removed from his position and reassigned as UN ambassador following what insiders are calling Signalgate, a catastrophic security breach that exposed sensitive military operations against the Houthis, to one of the administration's most notorious media enemies. You know, folks, I'm old enough to remember when scandals didn't automatically get the suffix "gate" attached to them. These days, if presidents order the wrong salad dressing, we've got dressing gate trending by lunch. But unlike coffee gate or hamburger gate, this one is actually serious. The shocking scandal erupted when Jeffrey Goldberg, editor of The Atlantic and the man behind the Debunk Suckers and Losers hit piece during the 2020 campaign, was somehow added to a private Signal group chat containing top White House officials discussing classified operations. The president initially tried to downplay the situation, telling reporters, "Are you bringing up Signal again? I thought they gave that up 2 weeks ago." But behind the scenes, heads were rolling. And I'm reporting live from D.C., where sources tell me this was the final straw in an already strained relationship. And as the White House deals with a major security breach, American families are facing their own security crisis, skyrocketing energy bills that threaten financial stability. Just as Signalgate exposed vulnerabilities in our national security apparatus, most homeowners remain unaware of the inefficiencies draining their wallets every month. While the administration addresses its security protocols, you can address your home's energy security with this revolutionary device. By stabilizing electrical currents and reducing dirty electricity, it protects your appliances while slashing power consumption. Much like the White House is removing security vulnerabilities, you can eliminate energy waste. Take back control from greedy power companies at don'twastepower.com. Okay, so I was at the White House today, and immediately following the press conference, all the chatter that was in that press room was all about Mike Waltz. And a source came up to me and said, Mike Waltz is out. The press office isn't confirming it. But, immediately I went and filed this report. Take a look. Garden with the press. Good afternoon, Patriots. Gary Franchi here with the Next News Network, reporting outside the White House on this stunning May 1st. The sun is shining, the D.C. press corps buzzing with energy. Now, I've got the inside scoop you won't hear anywhere else. Mike Waltz and his deputy, Alex Wong, are out of the White House. Sources say the National Security Advisor and his deputy were axed after Waltz's late March blunder, accidentally adding the Atlantic's Jeffrey Goldberg to a Signal chat, spilling a Houthi strike plan. Whispers in the press room reveal that the press office won't confirm, quietly saying, "We are not getting ahead of the president. Wait for his announcement." Now, right now, the president is in the Rose Garden with the press corps for the National Day of Prayer event, honoring our values while cleaning house to keep America safe. We'll have more exclusive updates, so stay tuned, Patriots, for the real truth. Thank you for following that report, Gary. Much appreciated. And your work on the ground at the White House is indispensable. All right. So we got some clips here we're going to roll through regarding everything that happened with Signalgate. And I want to get to this clip from Laura Loomer. She filed this just about 24 hours ago, talking about Signalgate and Jeffrey Goldberg and Alex Wong.
And you'll see that Alex Wong is the Deputy National Security Advisor serving under Michael Waltz. He is also an assistant to President Donald Trump. And if you're following my reports, then you'll see that Alex Wong is one of the individuals who was in this Signal chat that Michael Waltz is now taking responsibility for setting up. But if you look at the Signal messages, it clearly says that, oh, Alex Wong is my deputy and I put him in charge with making sure that everybody gets in this chat. And the controversy is how a leftist reporter by the name of Jeffrey Goldberg, who works for a hostile anti-Trump publication known as The Atlantic, was able to get added to this top secret chat with intel officials and key administration officials. And it's now quite an embarrassment to the Trump administration. So here's the tweet I posted the other day, in case you haven't seen it. Alex Wong, he's Chinese, by the way, so I don't really know who's doing the vetting. Again, all I know is that I'm not doing the vetting, okay? All I know is that I am not responsible for the vetting of the Trump administration. Because if I was involved in vetting, things like this would not be happening. Okay. So again, I don't know why we have Chinese individuals in positions of national security in the Trump administration. Maybe that's a question for Michael Waltz. I don't know, but it's concerning. It's definitely very concerning. Alex Wong.
So let's keep going. President Trump shuts down a reporter. Remember this? Asking about Pete Hegseth and Signalgate.
At an all-time high, the spirit in the armed forces is fantastic. Are you bringing up Signal again? I thought they gave that up 2 weeks ago.
There was a new report this weekend that he used in a separate chat that included some family members.
It's just the same old stuff from the media. That's an old one. Try finding something new.
Well, what's new is that now Waltz is out. The American people don't care about the inner workings. Does Signalgate resonate with American voters? Let's check in with Tim Cast.
The Democrats get rid of that story really quickly. He could have just booted him out, but he chose to stand by him. So I suspect Trump's going to stand by Hegseth throughout all of this.
I do think it may largely be fake news, specifically because, as you were mentioning, I think it was you saying this, that the Democrats are just speed running through all these narratives and these individuals trying to latch onto something, and they don't have any strong case against the Trump administration.
Oh, come on. Signalgate was a fucking disaster.
It did not resonate with a single person.
Okay, I know. Okay, I interviewed Laura Loomer for my podcast, okay? And you
you did?
You might. Yes, I did. I just had her on Thursday, and you may say what you want to say about her, but she's very close to the president. She's a very powerful person.
I don't think we have anything bad to say about Laura Loomer.
Okay. All right.
Well, no, she was saying that she's powerful and close to the president.
She is. She had an ability to walk in the door and a side door into the Oval Office, and she had the ability to essentially take out 6 very powerful people in the national security apparatus, overruling Mike Waltz. Okay.
Yeah.
And actually, when she showed up in Washington, she told me, and this has never been reported, that she had a video of Mike Waltz from 2016. Speaking very poorly about Donald Trump, and we'll have it in the podcast. You should check it out on my YouTube channel at Tara Palmieri. But yeah, she came there to kill Waltz. Waltz walked in the door just in time because she knows like he's 78 years old, Trump, and she's got to show him the video. And so Waltz walks in the door. So she told me that Trump is not happy with Waltz, and she told me there's a lot of infighting in the administration.
But do you think he'll get fired?
Listen, I don't think she would have gone on my show and talked like that if she didn't think he was already on ice.
So this may be ultra incorrect.
Yep, and now he is out the door. Mike Waltz removed as of this morning.
You said you want to call me. And it turns out that 3 different people, the original source and 2 others, have confirmed that the plan now by the White House is to remove the National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz, who was on Fox News this morning, just not that long ago, and his deputy, Alex Wong, and much of the current staff team at the National Security Council because of unhappiness throughout the national security establishment of how they're doing. The West Wing's unhappy, the State Department, the Treasury, unhappiness. And of course, this was around before Signalgate. It was widely reported that Signalgate, ironically, may have saved Waltz's job because the president didn't want to be seen as if he were giving in to Jeffrey Goldberg, his new best friend. But there's lots of levels of unhappiness, and it's less about Signalgate than it is about, as I understand it from my sources, a general belief that it's not being run efficiently in an organized way. It may not. It may happen as early as today. It may not happen ever because it's Donald Trump. But the plan is for it to happen soon. Maybe this weekend. One source says this weekend. We'll see. But the original.
We certainly saw today at the White House when he was let go. Here we have MAGA Michelle. I think Alex Wong was the creep behind the Signalgate.
All right, there's a breaking news that happened in the commercial break. So what you're looking at photographs right now of Michael Waltz. He is the president's national security advisor, except for we just got news that he is going to be leaving the administration along with his deputy, Alex Wong. Of course, if you might remember the story of Signalgate. I don't know if that's for a particular reason, but there was some consternation among some people about Mike Waltz, who you might remember was a congressman, Green Beret, a long history and career in foreign policy. And I believe...
And that career is coming to an end. President Trump announces the move of Mike Waltz to UN ambassador. He says this: I'm pleased to announce I'll be nominating Mike Waltz to be the next United States ambassador to the United Nations From his time in uniform on the battlefield in Congress and as my national security advisor, Mike Waltz has worked hard to put our nation's interests first. I know he'll do the same in his new role. And the interim Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, will serve as national security advisor. Now, Rubio's wearing two hats. While continuing his strong leadership at State Department, together we will continue to fight tirelessly to make America and the world safe again. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So that's how he decided to make the announcement that the press office told us to just wait for. Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, it's like we're not firing him. We're just going to move him over to UN ambassador, right? So a very interesting way to shuffle the deck there. Trump taps Mike Waltz as the new UN ambassador, Rubio acting national security advisor. Trump said he'll nominate Waltz, his national security advisor, to be next U.S. ambassador to the UN after criticism for inadvertently adding a journalist to the Signal group chat.
He's the president every day.
It's being presented as a way that Mike Waltz is moving to another position. Is this a promotion? Is it a demotion? Is it a lateral move?
President Trump has long defended Mike Waltz. Even when Signalgate first came out, he said that he trusts him and he still believes in him. The national security advisor is in the West Wing. He sees the president every day. He gets a security detail, much like the chief of staff, that other members of the administration don't necessarily get. The ambassador to the UN has also been a high-profile position for this administration, considering Elise Stefanik wasn't able to take that role. So it does seem like it is a shift here, but in terms of a demotion or a promotion, having access to the White House every day, this is going to be a very stark difference, not to mention he's likely going to be moving out of Washington to complete it.
Any idea at this point whose names have been bandied about for taking on a full-time role as national security advisor now that Mike Waltz is out?
There are reports that Steve Witkoff could potentially move into that. Of course, he's been serving in this special envoy capacity, but still President Trump is basically signaling to us, though, that he has a pretty long...
And that's exactly what I heard in the press room today. I heard Witkoff's name whispered throughout the press office. So that was the... that's some of the inside stuff that I heard. I can confirm what she was reporting on right there. So real wild stuff happening at the White House today. So the security breach, it demonstrates the high stakes of digital communications in modern governance and the serious consequences for those who fail to maintain proper protocols, even at the highest levels. The reassignment of Mike Waltz represents a significant demotion, moving him from one of the most powerful positions in the administration to a more ceremonial diplomatic role. Meanwhile, fingers are pointing at Deputy National Security Advisor Alex Wong, whose wife reportedly worked under both Biden and Obama, raising serious questions about divided loyalties within the national security apparatus. So the question patriots everywhere should be asking, how did someone with such clear connections to the previous administration gain enough trust to handle sensitive communications in the Trump White House? Was this an innocent mistake or something more deliberate? Share your theories in the comments section. And while you're securing your own digital communications, make sure you head on down to the Next News merch shop link below and grab some merch and show you stand with the real news.